The revered image of Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc fondly cherishes a uniquely beautiful story. Estimated to be 400 years old, it is befittingly enshrined and devoutly venerated in the more than 2-century-old imposing brick and stone Baroque Catholic Church of the parish of St. John the Baptist in Badoc, Ilocos, Norte. One Friday in the year 1620, a number of enterprising fishermen from Badoc, together with a few residents from the neighboring Ilocos town of Sinaid, were fishing in a serene cove of the village of Ilocos de Norte. As they were tending their nets, their drowsy eyes strayed into a large wooden box bobbing out of the incoming tide. They cast a sturdy fishnet over the mysterious object and hastily hauled it to the nearby shore. At the beach, a teeming crowd curiously surrounded the well-sealed box, which the incessant fisherfolk forced open with their large knives. The assemblage discovered a life-size statue of the Santo Cristo Milagroso, whose dark features and venerable expression intensely evoke reverence and terror. Further astounded, they also found the delicately hand-painted image of La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc with the jovial infant Jesus, together with 2 statuettes of angels and a violin. A heated dispute among the finders ensued. The contending populace of both towns laid claim to the prized treasure for their own houses of worship. To avoid further stubborn discord, these cathechumens willfully agreed to portion the precious contents equally. The downcast-eyed Virgin and the 2 angels were entrusted to the Visita of Badoc, while the esteemed crucified Christ and the violin were given to the mission of Sinaid. It is firmly believed that the box with its sacred contents was ferried by the sea to the shore of extremely Christianized Ilocos region from a still undetermined district in a feudal Japan, where at the time there raged a terrible persecution against resolute Christian disciples. Credited to be the work of divine providence, the bulky case is said to have come not from an undisclosed shipwreck, nor from any other place, as evidently upheld by prevailing ocean current, and furthermore, as definitively chronicled by history. In historical retrospect, feudal Japan marked the early 17th century with a change of shogun, wherein Tokugawa Ieyasu succeeded to Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who died in 1598. Being an absolute Buddhist, Ieyasu surrounded himself with zealous Buddhist counselors and Confucianist scholars whose burning desire was revenge for the fierce persecution they haplessly suffered at the hands of the previous apostate shoguns, Nobunaga and Hideyoshi. Upon the persistent advice of his trusted sage, coupled with the fear fanned by the Dutch Protestants that the diligent missionaries were the surreptitious advance guards of ambitious Spain and Portugal for eventual conquest of Japan, and further incited by a wrathful anti-Christian manifesto of the government of Nagasaki Hasegawa Haseoye in 1631. Ieyasu issued a decree of general persecution against Christians on January 27, 1614. The Christian religion, the harsh decree read, is a wicked religion. Its followers have insulted Buddhism, mocked Confucianism, and destroyed the good in Japan. They must be eliminated, and anyone contravening this order will be penalized with death. All Christians must renounce their religion and have their names inscribed in any of the Buddhist sects. Countless miracles have been attributed to the beloved image of La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc, which have kindled and heightened the veneration and devotion of the people. Accounts on these wondrous acts have been woven from scarce information which has evolved through oral tradition. An early story reported that during a dispute among the uncompromising finders, the residents of Sinait attempted to commandeer the image of the Virgin, while those from Badoc determinedly wanted to take possession of the crucified Christ. To their surprise, the statues could not be moved from their places, despite of the great number of people behind the strong-willed effort. After several attempts, they came to an agreement to exchange their images without needless fuss. Only then were the compliant residents able to lift them. Finding the images unusually light, they took them upon their shoulders and brought them to their respective churches in the far-off towns. From the strange incident, this simple folk came to the realization that the crucified Christ was truly destined for Sinait, while Badoc was the Virgin's undeniable choice. In 1776, fearless Moro pirates, still unsatisfied after raiding with unsparing barbarity the undisturbed village along the coastline of Badoc, carried their frenzied plunder into the populous heart of the peaceful town. The church and its paraphernalia were not spared. The pirates irreverently tried to behead the image of the indulgent Virgin with their sharp knives, but were unsuccessful. The sacrilegious act has left a scar over the image's left eye. In their violent anger and uncontrolled madness, they toppled the sculptured image into the fire upon which they were cooking their food. But the blazing flames were mysteriously extinguished by an unperceived force. These daring wanderers scampered away in fear, leaving the church and the town unthreatened from further devastation. The sight of the dreadful ruins that greeted them when they returned dismayed and depressed the spirits of the people to no consolable end. Wonder of wonders, they found the image of the Virgin amidst glowing embers in all stunning splendor, in no way damaged by the widespread fire. For the unwavering advocates of the Catholic faith in Badoc, this was another exalted manifestation of the gentle Virgin's glorious desire to make their lowly but heaven-blessed town her rightful home. The consecrated shrine of La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc since has ceaselessly attracted the diverse and ever-growing number of adherents from the pious Ilocos region for which the image was really meant. Devotees have come continuously to invoke her beneficent intercession in the times of despairing need and calamity. In order to seek help and continued protection from the epidemic and calamities that malignantly afflicted the hardy Ilocano provinces during the years 1656 and 1660, the miraculous image of the Virgin was brought to Vigan. The believers, though drained by anguish, offered prayers and simple gifts, which compassionate celestial patroness repaid with bountiful showers of spiritual and temporal favors. The images of the Virgin and the crucified Christ were jubilantly brought back to the village of Lugo on May 1, 1980 during their first pilgrimage to the site after 360 years since their prodigious discovery. A multitude of residents from the towns of Badoc and Sinait attended the solemn mass and the festive inauguration of the seaside marker. This affair was the joint efforts of Archbishop Juan C. Sison of the Archdiocese of Nueva Segovia and Bishop Edmundo M. Abaya of the Diocese of Luwag, which covers the province of Ilocos Norte, through the initiative of Father Raimundo M. Garcia of Sinait and Father Juan R. Ballesteros of Badoc. Devotion to the Venerable La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc, offered every Saturday, has become a part of active parish life. Realizing the intense and widespread devotion, the Diocese of Laoag proclaimed her patroness of Ilocos Norte in the liturgical ceremonies reverently solemnized by Bishop Abaya at her sanctuary on May 2, 1980. It was also declared that La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc is Our Lady, cause of our joy, Puon ti Ragsakmi. Due to its fast deteriorating state and previous unskillful rehabilitation, the statue of the Virgin was brought to Manila in June 1980, where it was expertly restored to its original antiquity by the renowned Talleres de Maximo Vicente. In thanksgiving for the successful restoration of the sacred image, a mass was offered by joyous townsfolk at the Malate Catholic Church on July 20 of the same year. One of the noteworthy activities undertaken in preparation of her diocesan solemn coronation was the pilgrimage of the image to all the towns of Ilocos Norte and several municipalities of neighboring provinces of Ilocos Sur and La Union in October and November 1980. The exultant people from all these places, religious and government leaders, students and devotees, warmly received the beloved Virgin. They brought her around their towns in processions, held open-air masses, and kept vigils. On that memorable day of December 8, 1980, the people of Badoc, together with devotees from Ilocos Norte and the entire Ilocos region, joyfully celebrated the solemn diocesan coronation of La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc. They prayed continually that she may always be for the weary pilgrim of God a constant and refreshing sign of sure hope and solace. The province of Ilocos Norte inaugurated an annual festival to honor La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc. Thousands of devotees and tourists flocked to Ilocos Norte for this affair, featuring a series of events celebrating both classic and contemporary Ilocano culture to supplicate the intercession of the patroness of the province. The province of Ilocos Norte celebrates the bicentennial anniversary of the establishment of Ilocos Norte as province. It is but proper to honor her revered patroness with a pontifical coronation. This is a way to thank La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc with a recognition from the Holy See. This time, it is the Universal Church that honors the Blessed Virgin Mary, who is known to the Catholic faithful of Ilocos Norte as La Virgen Milagrosa de Badoc, Puon ti Ragsakmi.